Manchester United away at the Hawthorns. Things don't get any easier for Manchester United, but then again, there is no easy games in the Premier League this day and age. But a real tricky test in prospect for Manchester United. It will be, after this game, we will know if Manchester United have really turned the corner, because they're playing really well at the moment. They're winning games and they're scoring goals as well. Normally you just think of West Brom as being a low scoring team, difficult to beat, playing dog shit football, but they're playing better this season and they're right on Manchester United's tails. Who would have thought that? They're just behind Manchester United, and a win for them could move them a lot closer to us. I'm not too sure if they can go above us, but definitely closer to us. They've got some players that are playing well this season. Rondon scored a hat-trick the other night, so they're going to be in confident mood in this game. The fans are going to really be up for this game. But Manchester United, we've had 3 wins in a row, back-to-back Premier League wins for the first time since August, which is really poor for Manchester United. I didn't think it was the absolute best performance we've seen from Manchester United at all this season, but we grounded out the win. We just did it hooker by crook. We got the victory, which in other games we haven't. We've gone back to 1-1 and we haven't. But the only confidence was that we actually let the equaliser in with enough time to get back in. I think it was like 67 minutes when Crystal Palace equalised in that game, which gave us enough time just about to get the winner. In previous games, like against Everton and Stoke, we've let goals in late on, and Arsenal, and we just haven't had no time to get a match winner, which was really disappointing. If you let late goals in, you're giving yourself maybe 4 or 5 minutes, if sometimes like against Arsenal, to get that win, and it is really difficult to get it. The emphasis is the momentum is with the other team that's just scored, and it's hard to change and go on the attack. We seem to sit back too much and just try to contain a 1-0 victory, and it's difficult to shift that as soon as another team scores. But it was good to see that we did actually change and we attacked Crystal Palace and looked a lot more threatening when they went 1-1, which gives me a bit of confidence going into this game, even though West Brom are in fantastic form. Now, I would expect Jose Mourinho to make some changes for this game. Obviously, Paul Pogba is starting to really show Manchester United fans what he's all about. He was fantastic in that game. I thought that was probably his best performance for Manchester United. He's had some decent games, I feel, for Manchester United, where he's put some really good balls into players. We've missed good chances where we should have scored, and that in the past, but I believe that was probably his best performance for Manchester United. You look at that Swansea game where he scored a great goal, but overall his performance wasn't great. I mean, players can score a screamer in any game, but it's what they do for 90 minutes as well what counts as to whether they've been brilliant in that game or not. I mean, obviously if he scores a screamer every game and has a poor game, I would still be happy because we've got a goal, but overall you want him to be creating chances as well as scoring goals, making assists. We know what Paul Pogba's all about, and he's going to be a fantastic player in the next few years for Manchester United. At the back, I would expect some changes. We're hearing from Mourinho that Chris Smalling could return to the starting lineup for this game. He's injury free now, which is a massive boost because we need all the players we can get now because Eric Bailly is out of this game. David Hare will obviously be in goal. I would expect Valencia to come back in at right back. Blin needs to play at left back because Darmian isn't good enough as a left back for me while Luke Shaw's injured. Then I think he's going to go for Smalling and Rojo. I think Jones will drop out for this game. Jones hasn't done really too much bad this season since he's been playing. He's been playing consistently a number of games for a long while. It seems like all his injuries are probably cleared up at this moment in time for me. You know, he probably, every time he was playing before for Manchester United, he probably was playing with niggles and knocks from other injuries after coming back and from another injury. So he probably had 2 or 3 injuries at a time, and then when he was sort of half fit, 90% fit or 80% fit, he was coming back on the pitch, and then he was picking up another injury. He was never probably nowhere near 100% fit. I know players are never, usually probably 95% fit when everyone goes on the pitch, but he probably had 2 or 3 niggles in places, which was probably dampening his chances of getting a consistent run of games. But probably everything at this moment in time is probably cleared up for him, which is why he's probably getting a run of games. But I think he'll probably miss out in this one for Smalling. Now he's fit. He could be on the bench, but it's a boost we've got Chris Smalling back because Eric Bailly at this moment in time is injured. I'm not too sure if Chris Smalling's good enough to be Manchester United if we want to challenge for the Premier League or Champions League on a regular basis, but still a great player to have in the team. I think he's probably going to keep the midfield three of Herrera, Carrick and Pogba. That is the best we can play at this moment in time. It's really getting a lot more out of Paul Pogba, and Carrick has been immense again this season. We've won most of our games, only drew 2 games that Carrick's played and won the rest of them. That is absolutely fantastic at 35 years of age. He has been immense for Manchester United and could have potentially been a legend had he been at Manchester United all his career, I think. Really, really fantastic player. Michael Carrick hasn't got the credit he deserves and should easily have got in more England teams. I mean, how the fuck does Jordan Henderson get in the England team when Michael Carrick's not getting in it? No wonder Michael Carrick doesn't probably want to play for England anymore. Now, the forward three. Martial, I would bring back into the starting lineup. I know I've criticised him a few times this season. Probably hasn't done nowhere near enough for Manchester United, but wasn't even on the bench against Crystal Palace. I would have had him on the bench because of his pace and Rashford's pace as well, but Rashford hasn't really done a lot lately either, so I'm not too sure if he's going to start, but I would give them both a chance in this game. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic up front. We need that pace. The team's just too slow, and it's too easy for the opposition when you're too slow. Juan Mata out wide, Wayne Rooney in there, Zlatan. It's all too slow for me. You need some more quick players in there. We need to quicken that attack up at times. It was too slow last season. We don't want to see it too slow. You've got to have pace in the team this day and age. Anyway, that's my Manchester United team. They've got some decent players. We know a few of their players because Darren Fletcher, fantastic servant for Manchester United, but obviously went downhill with his illness. He will be playing against us. He will be fired up for this game. Johnny Evans also played for Manchester United. I'm sure he'll be fired up for it. Hopefully we can get him. Martial, I hope, could get at him in that game because he's not the best of defenders. Rondon scored a hat-trick the other night, so we've really got to watch out for him. We did lose 1-0 at West Brom last season. One Mata got sent off, so it's going to be no easy feat, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw. But I think we're going to score a couple of goals in this game. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I hope we can just nick this game. Any win I will take because it will really put pressure on the teams in the top 4. Manchester City and Arsenal are playing this weekend. So if we could win, this could be an absolute amazing 7 or 8 days for Manchester United in terms of finishing the top 4 or challenging for 2nd, 3rd place or even 1st. Because if them two are playing each other, one of them's got to drop some points. Hopefully they'll both drop points and it'll be a draw. And then we would move a little bit closer to them. Maybe potentially one of the others might drop points as well. That would really put us in amongst it going into that festive period. Because we wouldn't be as far behind as we are now. I think Man City are only about 6 points ahead of us. So if they drew and we won, could potentially be down to about 4 points. You know, that is nothing. 4 or 5 points is nothing at this stage of the season. And I was writing our chances off. I still don't think we will get top 4 this season. I think it's going to be a bit too hard. But I completely wrote it off last week before we played Tottenham. I thought we've got almost 0 chance. But if the other teams are shit like they were last year, Man City collapsed at one stage last season when Pellegrini said he was leaving. If that could happen again this season and they collapse, who knows? They were miles clear of us last season and they only just finished above us in 4th position on goal difference. So who knows if we could go on a run. It's just we've got to, when we get our chances, we're creating chances in a lot of games this season, but we've got to take the chances when we get them. Zlatan has missed quite a few chances this season. He's been quality. He's scored 14 goals, but he has actually missed a lot of chances. I'm not criticising him because I'm really surprised with how many goals he's actually got, but he could have actually had 20 goals in all competitions by now because he's missed some great chances. You think back to that sitter he missed late on against Burnley. I mean, Christ, if stuff like that went in, Jesus, how many goals would he have got? 35 years of age. That is incredible. Anyway, make sure to like the video. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you